Hey everyone, Jay Whitney here with Space Headlines. We do a quick recap each week of what's going on in space. And today we're going to be talking about the fourth week of August 2019. Our first story is the Delta IV rocket, more specifically the medium version of the Delta IV. The last one was launched from Florida's Cape Canaveral Air Force Station recently. And it was the 29th flight of the medium class Delta IV, and the last of its kind. The Delta IV Heavy will continue to fly for a bit further, but the Delta IV Medium dates back to 2002. It's been a very reliable, great rocket that's launched a wide variety of different satellites, but it was unable to economically compete with the Falcon 9, and hence the retirement of the Delta IV Medium. So thanks for your service. We've heard a lot of talk about these giant internet satellite constellations. They're going to provide low latency internet from relatively low Earth orbit positions. And the news is not only is this going to make lots of money for the companies behind these internet constellations, it's also going to save a lot of money for American citizens. The current estimates are this is going to save Americans over $30 billion every year from savings for their internet services due to these new constellations that are being put forth by SpaceX is doing Starlink. Jeff Bezos has Project Kuiper, and other firms are also getting into this same arena. So this represents a huge potential savings for the American public. We get both personnel and supplies up to the International Space Station, complements of Russian vehicles, and this pertains to supplies. A Soyuz MS-14 spacecraft was sent up to the International Space Station to dock and bring supplies, and the initial docking had troubles. This is noteworthy because it was the first time that they were trying to do an automated docking using the Soyuz. And what happened was they moved a few things around and then had it automated the dock to another port on the International Space Station, which went fine. So this is the first example of a successful automated docking by the Soyuz spacecraft, which is a great thing. One of the biggest news items of the week has to do with the SpaceX Starhopper, and I'll tell you all about it, but sometimes words just fail a little bit. Well, as you can see, it was a very brief flight, this test flight of the Starhopper vehicle. It reached an altitude of about 500 feet, moved laterally a couple hundred feet, and then came into a nice landing. What really impressed me was the rock-solid feeling of looking at it, that it wasn't wavering, wobbling. It seemed just very, very solid to me. And now that this was, by the way, the last flight of the Starhopper vehicle, the prototype, now all the attention is going to move to the orbital prototypes. Two of them right now are being created, one in Texas and one in Florida. So a big congratulations to Elon Musk and the SpaceX team for a phenomenal job with the Starhopper. Not too long after that happened, Elon Musk put out a very interesting tweet pertaining to what he plans to do after the Starship. So he was talking about the second generation Starship. And the tweet basically indicated that the second generation of the Starship would be able to lift about 4 times the payload of the Starship that he's currently working toward. So this would be a really exciting thing, and perhaps we'll learn more about the current Starship plans and the next generation Starship plans when Mr. Musk does a presentation. Elon Musk is supposed to do a nice overview of the program in a couple of weeks, so we're all looking forward to seeing that. A new startup space company called Orbion raised $9 million in a Series A round to develop Hall thrusters for small satellites. And their idea is these, they're calling it the Aurora thruster system. It's going to be targeted on small satellites. They want to get into mass production within 2 years. And their sweet spot is satellites that are under 350 kilos. And our last item is SpaceX again. Several weeks ago, maybe 30 days ago, they introduced a small sat rideshare program that had launch schedule and pricing and so forth. And they got such a huge response from the space community that they have taken a fresh look at that, and they've introduced a new schedule and new pricing. And the short version is they're going to have more launches available. They're going to charge less for this program. And the small satellite people are really excited about this prospect of more frequent access to space for their small satellites. That's it for Space Headlines for the last week of August 2019. Hope you enjoyed our show, and we'll check back in a week or so with the first week of September. And we'll see you then.